Good day everyone, I am Changeling Blanquera from BSH UK. So the assigned topic for me is boat safety and effectiveness and driving for status and rank. So let us come first for the boat safety and effectiveness. So since boat safety, affiliation, trust density, and effectiveness competition, structural host situations are inherent human motivations and present in all social networks. When does one or the other became more salient? So, keeping up with the equivalent or nonsense as status seeking correlate of efficacy. Motives is an attribute of situations with many structural holds rather than situation of high cohesion. These motivations are necessary when the cost of acting as well as the return on investments are high. When the visibility is low, when the discount rate on future returns is high, and when one may not be in moral command. In short, in situations in which the modern market is predominant, in such situations, actors attempt to at least keep up with and at best surpass others with whom they are structurally similar. Note that in the formulation given, the actors can be organizations, nation-states, or other kinds of collective actors. In safety in social networks, it refers to the measures taken to ensure the protection and well-being of users while they engage in online interactions. It involves implementing security features and policies to safeguard personal information, prevent unauthorized access, and mitigate risks such as cyberbullying, harassment, and identity theft. Safety in social networks also includes providing tools for users to report and block abusive content or users, as well as promoting digital literacy and responsible online behavior. So, effectiveness in social networks refers to the ability of these platforms to fulfill their intended purposes and provide value to users. It involves facilitating meaningful connections, communications, and collaborations among individuals or community. Effective social networks enable the users to express themselves, share information, and engage in discussions or activities that align with their interests or goals. They also provide opportunities for networking, professional development, and access relevant resources or opportunities. So, balancing safety and effectiveness is crucial in ensuring a positive and beneficial social networking experience. While safety measures protect users from potential harm, effectiveness ensures that users can drive value, build relationships, and achieve their desired outcomes from their social network interactions. So, let us proceed to the striving for status or rank. So, it is the definition of all the networks. The other in the dyad is a referent. So, in the previous chapter, we described core or periphery structures and observed that the core has more of whatever it is valued. These valuations depend on the cultural and social definitions of what is valued. For example, money, power, family connections, or learning. It is according to Weber in 1946. While the network established who the referent is, the social system generally establishes what one strives for unless, of course, it is a rank itself. A desire for rank or status may be a strong motive regardless of the content of the rank. It is according to Huberman, Lodge, and Onclure on 2004. So, keeping up with the one sense is an idiom in many parts of English-speaking world. It refers to the comparison to one's neighbor as benchmark of social class or the accumulation of material goods. To fail to keep up with the one's is preserved as demonstrating social, economic, or cultural inferiority. So, driving for status or rank in social networks refers to the behavior of the individuals who strive to gain recognition, popularity, or high social standing within the online community. It involves actively seeking validation and approval from others by accumulating followers, likes, comments, shares, and other forms of social engagement on their posts or profiles. So, people who are engaged in driving for status or rank often prioritize their online presence and invest significant time and effort in crafting their image, curating content, and seeking attention. They may focus on creating posts that are likely to generate attention or provoke a response, such as posting glamorous photos, sharing achievements, or showcasing a luxurious lifestyle. So the motivation behind the driving for status or rank can vary from person to person. Some individuals may say Some individuals may seek validation and self-esteem boost through the positive feedback and recognition they receive from others. So, others may view a high social status or rank as a measure of success and influence, which can potentially lead to opportunities, partnership, and even financial gains. However, it is important to note that striving for status or rank in social networks can have both positive and negative implications. One on hand, is it can provide a platform for self-expression, connection, and personal branding. On the other hand, it can also contribute to feelings of insecurity, comparison, and constant need of external validation. So, the extent to which individuals drive for the status or rank in social networks depends on their personal goals, values, and the importance they place on their online presence. It's essential to strike a balance of prioritize genuine connections, meaningful interactions, and personal well-being over solely seeking external validation. So that's all. Thank you.
So good day everyone. My name is Dandy Pilanasa. I will discuss about cognitive limits on individual networks. So cognitive limits of individual networks. The infant's horizon for potential network is constantly expanding as he or she natures and begins to move in circles and activities beyond the immediate family. In traditional societies, the infant becomes aware of the extended family as a network and begins to absorb the meaning and relationships implied by terms that have always confounded the student of kinship. And contemporarily, industrial societies' children go to schools and acquire a network of persons outside their nuclear families. This acquisition of an over ever larger network continues to develop even as aided by internet devices such as Facebook. This is a limit to the size of the safety and effectance networks than any individual can manage or remember. Through of course, there is considerable variation in this ability. In addition to their motivations to engage in network behavior, the size of the network that humans can cognitively manage is the other important psychological underpinning of social network theory. Network behavior is, in the first place, subject to limitations on the extent of human actions. So, all humans have a limit or ceiling of actions. Below this ceiling, an accustomed level of mobilization is established. So, periods of mobilization above par of the accustomed level tend to be followed by mobilization below par and vice versa. So, the size of this personal circle or network is critical social and cultural phenomenon. So, first, as Bernard and Calvert, 1979, pointed out, this size is a major determinant of social and cultural evaluation. So, this assumes that with a given technology, a hunting and gathering groups, population size increases until it has to split so that it can continue to environment. This is the conventional view of human evaluation as seen from the point of view of um, Julian Stewart's School of Cultural Evaluation. So, Hill and Dunbar argue that in primates, social networks are more easily to define and are often delimited by size of the social group. Hill and Dunbar. Um, Primate relationships involve intense social grooming. The grooming group size is relative to neocortical volume. Since the size of the human neocortex is known, the relationship between group size and neocortex size in primates can be used to predict the cognitive group size for humans. So Dunbar therefore predicts that preliterate humans should live in groups of about 150 in size. Dunbar, 1993. Cognitive limits on individual network refer to the psychological boundaries that restrict the number and depth of connections an individual can maintain within a society network. These limits are influenced by factors such as memory, capacity, and ability to process information. So, here are the some examples of cognitive limits. First, about the cognitive social network are as important as the actual patterns of relationship. For example, one perceptions of friendship relations can be a better predictor of reputation than the actual friendship patterns. So, this insights the significance of cognitive processing in understanding and um, navigating social network. So, second, about um, working memory capacity. The limited capacity of working memory affects how much important information an individual can hold and manipulate at any given time. And the third, about self monitoring. Individual psychological differences, such as the personality trait of self monitoring, can shape how people perceive and behave within social networks. So, high self-monitors may be more adept and adjusting their behavior to fit different social contexts. So, potentially expanding their cognitive limits in social network. So, these examples illustrate how cognitive limits can shape and structure and dynamics of individual. So, networks. So, affecting both personal and professional interactions. Understanding these limits can help in designing more effective communication strategies and social media platforms.
The interplay of personality, culture, and social structure suggests a study or discussions about how these three elements, personality, culture, and social structure, interact and influence each other. Personality factors refers to individual characteristic traits, behaviors, and thoughts patterns. These can influence and be influenced by the social structure, which is the organized pattern of social relationship and social institutions that together compose society. Culture, on the other hand, refers to the shared belief, costumes, practices, and social behaviors of a particular group of society. It can shape and be shaped by both personality and social structure. The statement personality factors may cause one structure, closure, or brokerage to dominate suggests that individual traits can lead to the prevalence of one type of social structure over another. Closure refers to a social structure where members are closely connected like a tight-knit community. Brokerage, on the other hand, refers to a social structure where individuals or groups act intermediaries or brokers between others, like a business network. The importance of brokerage and closures depends on cultural and social structural context, means that the significance and role of social structures can vary based on the cultural norms and the overall social structure of the society they are part of. In simple terms, this is all about how individual personalities can shape and be shaped by the society we live in, and how this interaction is influenced by our cultural context. The paradox of network structures suggests a discussions about the contradictory or counterintuitive aspect of network structures. The statement network structures that are conducive to information, resources, and brokerage, and not conducive to clear social identity and vice versa, means that the types of network structures that facilitate the flow of information, resources, and brokerage, acting as an intermediary between others, are not the same structure that foster a clear social identity. In other words, a network that's great for sharing information and resources might be the best for establishing a strong, clear identity, and network that's great for establishing identity
be the best for sharing information and resources. Having a coherent, well-defined organizational identity is as important as having access to information and resources. Emphasize that both aspect a clear identity and access to resources are equally important in a network structure. In simple terms, this is about the tricky balance in network structures. While some structures are great for sharing information and resources, they might not help in creating a clear identity, and the ones that do help in creating a clear identity might not be as good at sharing resources, and both those aspects are equally important for a network to function effectively. Though the network agency cohesion versus structural rules suggest a discussions about the rules and impact of two different aspects of network structure: cohesion and structural rules. Cohesion assesses the resources and emotional or otherwise satisfies basic needs on sustain the status quo. This refers to the aspect of a network where members are closely connected or cohesive. In such a network, members have access to resources which could be emotional support, information, or other types of resources. These cohesions help to satisfy the basic needs of the members and maintain the existing social order or status quo. Structural rules create change and movement, reaps advantage through autonomy and manipulations. This refers to the gaps or holes in a network where there are few or no direct connections between members. These structural holes can lead to change and movement within the network as they allow for more autonomy, independence, and can be manipulated to gain advantage. In simple terms, this is about how different aspects of a network can have different impact. A network with a lot of cohesions can provide resources and stability, while a network with many structural holes can lead to change and provide opportunities for gaining advantage.
So, I am going to discuss po the motivation of corporate actors. So, in economic sociology, there are two general theories for understanding how social relations and network create economic and social benefits. My analysis of arm's length ties support the weak tie thesis, demonstrating that weak ties are superior at shopping the market. So parang yung weak ties po yung pinakamalakas. For publicly available information, similarly, my analysis of embedded ties supports the strong tie approach by showing that embedded ties are superior at plugging actors into unique collective resources of dense network clusters. So, doon po, yung superior tie po yung nagpa-plug, yung nagko-connect-connecta sa mga actors po. So, thus I suggest that embedded ties and arm's length ties are complementary rather than cannibalistic when they are combined with the same network, because one type of ties helps overcome the limitations of the other type while larging informations and governance benefits. In general, both safety embedded ties and effectiveness arm's length holy ties are necessarily found to some degree in all networks that somehow involve people, because people are always motivated to act in terms of both safety and effectiveness. That is, they are vectors that define a space. At one extreme, there is the Buchanan, who is low on support but high on effectance. So yung Buchanan po, mababa po yung support pero mataas po yung effectiveness niya. And that the other extreme, there is the conservative who is high on support but low on effective. So kabaliktaran po ng Buchanan yung conservative, which is yung conservative po mataas po sa support but mababa po sa effectiveness. So yun lamang po. Thank you.
So where are we now? Human inherently desire social interactions to feel secure and satisfy their needs. These interactions generate sentiments or evaluations about others, which in turn after future interactions. Positive sentiments lead to more activities with others, while negative sentiments reduce interaction. So, Gould's symmetry assumptions coupled with the motivations to achieve rank. In safety-motivated interactions, people prefer to engage with others who will reciprocate. So, asymmetrical systems tend to create leaders who have more or what is valued by the group and who direct interactions toward others with lower rank. The group tends to become segmented based on the structural similarity, providing opportunities for individuals to bridge relationship between people or with weak ties and act as brokers. So, in this, sabi dito, we human daw usually create social interaction to create a connection. So, number one, there are two kinds, the positive sentiments and negative sentiments. So, these positive sentiments, these are the, it is encountered when we are able to connect with other individuals who help us, and through this, it leads to a more activities. But when we encountered negative sentiments, so this reduces interaction. So, this called safety motivated interaction daw. In this, people usually prefer to engage with other individuals who reciprocate. So, hindi dito uso yung sinasabi na maray sa naabol basang. In this, people want, in safety motivated interaction, each individual help with each other. So, merong nangyayaring reciprocation in which kapag may ibinigay yung isa, may ibibigay din yung isa. So, nagkakaroon ng give and take relationship. So, and these asymmetrical systems daw tend to create leaders who have so-called value or binavalue yung group, and meron ding interaction na nangyayari with the lower rank. So, in this, it provides opportunities to bridge relationship between peoples with weak ties, and this leader are called now as the brokers. So, that is the end of our report. Thank you for listening.